welcome to a brand new season of the LERA LMS Cup. Former F1 driver Alex Young is back this year to defend his title, along with familiar faces and new talent, all making up a field of veteran professionals and the passionate amateurs. The season starts here in Zhuhai before it stops in Korea, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Japan. Then the Cup returns to China for the season finale in Shanghai. With the improvements to the car as well as new regulations, the stage is set for a season full of drama. But first though, let's take a quick look back at the nail-biting finish to last year's championship.
It took Alex Young until the final act of last season to clinch the title after a year-long battle with Andre Couto. Others, including Zhuhai Fry and Frankie Chung, also challenged, but this was the jewel of the series. Both Young and Couto had 4 wins heading into the final race weekend of the year in Abu Dhabi, although neither had had it all their own way. Couto started round 11 on pole, just ahead of Young, but the Malaysian edged ahead too soon at the start. He would later be assessed a 25-second penalty, which pushed him down to 6th, and Couto took the win. Couto then knew a top 3 finish in the season finale would guarantee him the title, and he had the perfect start from pole position. The two had a back-and-forth battle, but the turning point of the race and of the championship came in the final few laps as Couto went off track to pass Young, a move that would ironically draw him a 25-second penalty. But it was Alex Young who won the race, and with it the championship, as he took over the crown from 2013 champion Adley Fong. Young returns this year to defend that title, but the Malaysian knows that winning for a second time will be even tougher.
It's an even playing field, that's what makes the championship so great. The cars are identical. So it's just who can do the best job on the day.
Zhuhai Fry finished in 3rd last year and was in the mix until the very last race weekend. She's back for her 2nd full season, but can she beat the boys this year?
I'm working again on it, so we're gonna see.
Frankie Chung has been one of China's most impressive drivers over the last decade. He feels his 3rd season in the Cup will be his best yet after finishing 4th in 2014.
I'm feeling confident after good preparation over the winter, and I think I have a good chance of winning.
Marchie Lee won the title in the Cup's 1st season and knows he'll have to hit top speed if he is to regain the crown from his friend and rival.
I think still the biggest problem is just Alex Young, and also Frankie is a very good driver, Zhuhai, and the level is just keeping going up.
Of all the new additions this year, 2 stand out. Aditya Patel becomes the first Indian in the Cup's history that brings a wealth of experience from racing in Europe and Asia.
I've been driving the R8 for 2 years, so I'm a little comfortable with the car. I hope to be fast and maybe finish in the top 3 by the end of the season.
And Thomas Fjordbach brings another new dimension as the rising GT star flies the flag for Denmark.
Here it would be difficult, but honestly, my goal for this season was before, and it's still to compete for the championship.
One of the best features about the Cup is the fact that every driver races in the same model of car. So it's a completely level playing field for the drivers. But this year, to make things even more exciting, several improvements have been made, not only to the cars, but also to the regulations. Let's take a look at some of the changes for 2015.
We've got some really exciting regulation changes this year for the LERA LMS Cup. The one that the viewers will most notice is definitely Superpole. All of the drivers go out and do a 15-minute qualifying session, and then the top 8 from that session will get to do a single lap of qualifying. They all go out in reverse order, one car effectively on its own on track, and they try to set down the best time to set the qualifying for the first race.
Then we have another change for push to passes. You have to split your push to passes in qualifying for the first session qualifying, and then for Super Pole. So it's you have to gamble. It's really interesting for the spectators, but even for the drivers, because you don't know what other drivers do.
This year we have 2 types of starting procedure. So as in the past, we have a rolling start for race 1, and then in race 2 we have a standing start. Colleagues in Germany have spent quite a lot of time developing a system.
We developed a launch control which allowed the driver to, when you want to start the car, to push the throttle completely down, release the clutch as quick as possible, and all the work will be done by the launch control to control the slip of the tires and to give them the best possible acceleration.
The system will make the work for the driver, honestly. So it's interesting to watch because it's so noisy and so loud.
We this year introduced a set of new rear wing supports which will bring the position of the wing around about 150 millimeter more to the back. The effect of this will be that at the same wing angle, you will have a higher downforce as before.
It means we have more aerodynamic on the rear axle. The rear axle is going to be more stable for the race, for the long distance. This is really, it's even nicer to drive, honestly.
One of the features we are introducing in the R8 LMS Cup this year is our new brake balance system. This system will allow a much better brake pressure distribution between the front and the rear wheels, and on the same hand it allows more brake force in the rear compared to the last year's car.
Some other changes we've got, the drivers have now got 2 sets of tyres to use all race weekend instead of the one that we've had in the past.
It will give us a better performance of the car, higher grip, and this should result in better lap times than the years before.
We already saw it in qualifying, we had faster times. It's a different tyre compound, and the setup changes a little bit into an understeer with these new tyres, but you just have to adapt as a driver.
For the first time since the series began in 2012, the Audi R8 LMS Cup begins here at Zhuhai in China. 20 cars are entered for the first round of the 2015 season, with 6 of those drivers making their debut, but all of them will be chasing the #1 car of 2014 champion Alex Young. First opened in 1996, the 4.31 kilometre 14-turn Zhuhai circuit is one of the toughest in the world on brakes, and that will test the drivers as they come out for the qualifying session today. A healthy crowd on Saturday saw the first ever Super Pole qualifying shootout. The top 8 drivers from the initial 15-minute session, which was headed by Marchi Lee, had 1 additional lap in which to set their fastest time, and that would decide the front 4 rows of the grid. Rahel Frey had the quickest single lap in the Super Pole session, 7/100ths of a second ahead of reigning champion Alex Young. A newcomer, Aditya Patel, would start from 3rd position, a fantastic debut for the Indian driver. So here's the grid. Rahel Frey will start from pole alongside reigning champion Alex Young, and it's Aditya Patel, Marchi Lee, then Thomas Fjordbach and KOU. Sean Tong will start alongside Stefano Montesi, and then Frankie Cheng, who sadly didn't make Super Pole on his first try, the local hero, starts from position 9 alongside Kimi Chi. Then it's Jeffrey Lee, Alex Au, the leading amateur, Ashraf Diwal and Samson Chan. Coming to the line for the first rolling start of the 2015 season, Rahel Frey's controlling the line, but it looks like Alex Young has got the jump on her. That's Frankie Chong going down the inside. But Alex Young has got the lead as they run into turn 1, but back down the inside goes Rahel Frey, locks the brake, and that's allowed Alex Young to go back up the inside. It's Marchi Lee, Aditya Patel and Frankie Chung through into turn 4. Frankie runs wide, looks like he's going to force Marchi Lee to concede on the run down to turn 5. Now that's Stefano Montesi going straight off. That could be cold tyres. With the leaders starting to get away at the front of the field, the battle pack in the midfield is starting to heat up. And that's Ashraf Diwal battling with Samson Chan. Going into turn 1, a position change there. Alex Au's a little bit further back than we'd expect. The 2 Star Speed racing cars are side by side, but that's Ashraf Diwal has spun on the exit of turn 1 looking for position. Very early in the race, cold tyres. This is further down the field, and that's the 2 Star Speed entries. Debut for them both here this weekend, and they're both off the circuit. Now all this action's brought the safety car out, and that will bunch the field back up again whilst they extract some of those cars from the gravel. Restart now, and Alex Young has made the best of that and got a good jump on Rahel Frey as they come down towards the start. You can see from Rahel Frey just how far Alex Young has got ahead on the run through to the first turn, and he will use that advantage through the second half of this race. That's KOU running wide. All the great work he'd done before the safety car has just come unstuck. Samson Chan's now dropped him down the order, so he has lost wholesale positions as a result of that off. Back at the front of the field, Marchi Lee and Frankie Cheng continue their battle. Sparks out of the back of Marchi Lee's car as he dives under brakes, but Frankie's going to take the position back. Or is he? Marchi tries to close the door. Yes, Frankie's got through. But I'm sure that won't be the last he sees of Marchi Lee. In fact, Marchi's having another go. Coming along the front straight. He's dived out of the slipstream, pulled alongside, deep under brakes. You can see the car skating around as he goes down the inside of Frankie Cheng and takes that position away on the run through into turn 2. It's a great battle in the tail of the top 10. Sean Thong and Alex Au. Alex Au runs off the circuit. The leading AM-class driver won't be happy with that. Just gets the car back together on the run down to turn 2, but that's given positions away, valuable positions to Sean Thong. Now here we've got Johnson Huang off the circuit. That's allowed Hugo Repair and Ashraf Diwal, who's recovering, of course, from that opening lap spin, to move through on him. Ashraf's looking very racy, of course, finished on the AM-class podium a number of times last year. Look at those brake disc glow. Ashraf very heavy on the throttle as he came out of the corner, and that got the tail to step out. Alex Jung, though, continues to lead at the front of the field. Rahel Frey has closed in just ever so slightly, but now she's got her own problems. That's Aditya Patel looking for a position on the run down to turn 1, and now Marchi Lee has got through on that battle with Frankie Cheng to move to the tail of the battle for second. So the top 4 aren't separated by all that much, and there aren't too many laps left in this race. Alex Jung continues to do what he needs to do to win the first round of this season and carry over the victory. There's Aditya Patel on board. He doesn't look happy with himself. Maybe that's his last opportunity to take that position away from Rahel Frey and allow the Swiss driver to make her way through to second, which she will do. But victory, Alex Jung for the first round of the 2015 season. Rahel Frey second, and Aditya Patel, a brilliant drive on his debut to take position number 3 and stand on the podium.
I kind of tried to plan it till the end. I was looking at the number of laps counting down, so I was saving my push to pass, just hoping that the guys in front were using it quite a bit, and it kind of worked, but I couldn't pull off the move. I had 2 push to pass left on the last lap, but I kind of learned from that, so tomorrow if I'm in such a situation, I know what to do.
A fantastic result for the opening race. Alex Jung takes victory in his title defence. First time out, pole sitter Rahel Frey takes second, and Aditya Patel on debut stands on the podium. And in the amateur class, Samson Chan, Hugo Repair and Ashraf Diwal, a nice recovery from a bad start to that opening race. Recapping the results from the opening round, it was Alex Jung who started his title defence in fine form with victory over Rahel Frey, Aditya Patel and 2012 champion Marchi Lee. Samson Chan was the leading amateur class driver. Hugo Repair finished in position number 11 as second amateur, ahead of Ashraf Diwal, with Johnson Huang recovering for position 13.
The Cup races at some of the best tracks across Asia, but is also part of Audi's global motorsport program. And this year, some of these drivers will also be competing in some of the most exciting races in Europe. Our reporter, Mark Dreyer, has more.
While most of the action was happening on the track, one exciting development happened off it, with the official announcement that 4 drivers from the Cup will take part in one of Europe's top races.
This is actually the racing team and the racing drivers which will participate on the 24 hours on the Nürburgring on the 17th of May. So we have the 24-hour race there with these drivers from the Audi R8 LMS Cup.
First of all, it's a great honor to be representing R8 LMS Cup team. Race 24 hours Nürburgring. 24 hours Nürburgring is the most historical and famous race all over the world, and more than 200 entries there, and we have the best team support there, so we should be able to be very competitive there.
I've done it twice before with Audi as well, and it's just one of the best experiences. Out of all the disciplines of driving, it doesn't matter what you do, Nürburgring is probably up there, maybe the best experience you can have. 25 kilometers. They don't build tracks like that anymore. Uphill, downhill, you're airborne, 300 kilometers per hour. It's going to be so much fun.
But in addition to the Nürburgring 24-hour race, Audi Sports Customer Racing Asia is partnering with top European outfit Phoenix Racing to compete in the 2015 Blancpain Endurance Series in Europe.
The focus is to come in the top 10. This is what we want to achieve.
They aim to do that with Marchi Lee, reigning Nürburgring 24-hour champion Markus Winkelhock, and young teenage star Sean Thong.
Partnering Marcus, he's the Nürburgring 24 winner, and I really hope I can learn as much as I can from him.
In the race in Blancpain is extremely close racing. I think it's one of the top level now in the whole world for GT racing.
For Phoenix Racing, this partnership marks the German outfit's first steps into Asia.
We have to come to this market. We cannot close our eyes here. I think it's a future, and for sure we will come to the Asian races.
As part of Audi's new Young Driver Development Program, Tong will also compete in the Audi Sports TT Cup, gaining more invaluable experience on his road to the top.
From the first day I decided to be a racing driver, I've sacrificed a lot of things. I need to really discipline, not to go out, but need to get good rest and also keep myself in a good condition. I got TT Cup, I got Blancpain, I got Nürburgring 24, and also I got uni, so it's going to be super busy.
And it's the right age to start things like that, and he can learn how to work with the engineer and how to develop his car for his driving style.
Tong's certainly going to be very busy throughout the year, racing all over Europe and Asia. Let's go now and check out all the action from round 2.
Let's take a look at the grid for the second race of the opening round of the 2015 Audi R8 LMS Cup. And it's Alex Jung who will start on pole by virtue of setting the fastest time yesterday. Marchi Lee, the 2012 champion. Rahul Frey, yesterday's pole sitter. It will start alongside Aditya Patel. Then it's Kimi Chin, Thomas Fjordbach, Frankie Cheng and Ko Yu. The Australian Daniel Bilski driving for the Thai Be Quick Racing team will start from position 11 ahead of Ashraf Duwal and Samson Chan, who won the amateur class last time out. An historic moment now for the Audi R8 LMS Cup, a standing start. The first time in the 4 seasons this series has run that we will see a standing start. The drivers are nervous. They're not quite sure what to experience. This is the first time for many of them to actually do a standing start. Of course, Alex Jung, the man who sits on pole position, has done this before during his time in Formula One. But they have more to think about. Look at the wood chip on the run into turn 1. Wood chip is covering oil from a previous incident the race prior, so that runs through the first sector of this lap and will cause a little bit of concern with one real racing line to follow, so they will be taking that into consideration. A green flag means that the field has been formed. The lights will come on, and when the lights go out, it's race time. Alex Jung will control the start of this race. He's got 2012 champion Marchi Lee alongside. The red lights are on. As soon as they go out, we are away. And we are away. Alex Jung has got the best of that start and got a great jump. The whole field looks like it's got away cleanly. You see pit lane racing to the wall to watch what's going on. Thomas Fjordbach in the orange car up the inside looking for a move on Marchi Lee. He's gone inside. No, he's been turned sideways by Thomas Fjordbach. Look at that dirty line on the exit of turn 1. It's catching a number of drivers. Rahul Frey there with Kimi Chin. Marchi Lee's trying to recover and rejoin the field, but he's slowed right down. That's Daniel Bilski's got in front of Sean Thong. Look at the dust on the run down to turn 2. That's going to create a real problem for the drivers. Rahul Frey's looking for an inside move on Sean Thong, and so is Frankie Cheng. But Sean Thong's managed to hold the line on the run through turn 4. Alex Jung has got a great gap at the start of the race. Aditya Patel immediately behind him, and that is Thomas Fjordbach. You can see the yellow and red oil flag being waved for the oil from the previous race, and that's a slower car further back has suffered some damage. Look at the mix-up in the pack. That dirty line, you can still see it here now, further down the circuit. The 2012 champion, though, has managed to keep the car straight, but the battles are still going on through the pack. This dirty line has really mixed up the racing. That's Rahul Frey trying to get alongside Daniel Bilski. The Australians managed to get right through the order and miss most of the action off the start and dive up into 4th place. You see him just slightly touch the brakes to allow Rahul Frey to get past him. Now he's got Sean Thong immediately behind him, and behind him is Frankie Cheng. And now that's Sean Thong up the inside of Daniel Bilski. The Australian's starting to drop back. He'll come under fire from Frankie Cheng. The Sean Thong dives under brakes and takes the position away. You can see Alex Au and Marchi Lee just behind them there battling over position. Now Frankie Cheng dives down the inside of the Australian into turn 4 and takes another position away. But Bilski still maintains his place inside the top 10. But now he's coming back at Frankie Cheng. What's going on here? The local driver has dropped right off the pace. That's allowed Bilski and Alex Au and Marchi Lee, who's gone up the inside of all of them into the corner. You can see the damage that Marchi Lee is suffering as a result of that opening race incident. He's still dropping off the pace. Now that looks like it's Sean Thong is having dramas at the front of the field. This is most unusual. I wouldn't expect this early in the race. Whether this dust is playing havoc with these guys, we'll soon find out. But certainly those guys are well off the pace. You see further back in the pack, Sean Thong is losing more positions, as is the local star, Frankie Cheng. This is Alex Au, though, taking a position away from KOU, which is a little unusual in itself. KO's been very competitive, and Alex is working his way through from the back of the field. Look at the dust, it's still there. Now we've got cars coming into pit lane. That's a little unusual for this early in the race. That is Johnson Huang in the AM class car. But up front, Alex Jung continues to lead Aditya Patel and Thomas Fjordbach, but that's the red flag. And there's a car steaming in pit lane. Whether that's the reason for the red flag, we'll soon find out. Now, the red flag means all the cars will be due back in pit lane, and they're starting to file in right now. As soon as we can get official word on what's going on, we will get it straight across to you. Officials have now confirmed that the reason for the red flag was that sawdust had been sucked into the cooling ducts of the race cars, blocking the cooling systems and causing the engines to overheat. All of the cars were then recalled to the pits in the interests of safety. No points have been awarded because less than 50% of the race distance had been completed, but organisers are now doing their best to add another round to this year's calendar. So as a result of there being no points scored in round 2, it will fall back to the results of race 1, where Alex Jung took victory, the reigning champion. So he will lead the championship heading into South Korea on 25 points. Rahul Frey has position number 2 with 19 points, and Aditya Patel, the rookie from India, position number 3 with 15 points. And it's 2012 champion Marchi Lee and local hero Frankie Cheng recovers from a difficult qualifying position to be 5th in the points. Thomas Fjordbach, another of the rookies, in position 6 ahead of Kimi Chin. And then it's Sean Tong, KOU and Samson Chan on debut. He won the AM class title yesterday and is 10th in the points.
Alex Jung had the perfect start to the 2015 Audi RA LMS Cup, continuing the form he showed last year, with the Malaysian notching up yet another win in his career. The weekend saw lots of exciting new additions, with Rahul Frey coming out on top in the Cup's maiden Super Pole shootout, and the Cup's first ever standing start, providing plenty of excitement to the packed grandstands here in Zhuhai. But we've gotten another 5 race weekends throughout the year. Next up, we'll all be heading to Korea. Hope you can join us. See you soon, and goodbye from Zhuhai.